Hello friends, welcome to the new year. It is time to roll our D12 for the first time. So, how am I going to do this so that you see it? This. You see it? We'll find out if you see it in just a second. But it is number 11. 11 is When Women Were Dragons. So, that's going to be the first one that I read for this project. I don't know if it'll happen like this month, I'm hoping, because, you know, there's 12 of these. I'm supposed to do 2 a month, so we're gonna find out. We're gonna have a good time. The universe told me to read this book twice. It's kind of hilarious, because I rolled my D12 earlier today, landed on When Women Were Dragons, and thought, well, okay, I'll hold on to this because I don't want my secret TBR book to be my first read of the year, so that I can log it and get that, you know, kind of get that pressure off. So I couldn't decide what to read because I normally am reading like 2 or 3 things at a time. And so I put in a Discord picture of my TBR shelf and was like, what should I read? And the first person that got back to me said When Women Were Dragons. So I guess we will read When Women Were Dragons and get started on it. Maybe it won't be the first thing I finish this year, but it's just hilarious to me that that was like the pick. Hello friends, so it is January 4th. It's the 4th. And I know I just told you I rolled for When Women Were Dragons, but I was looking for an audiobook that I could get from my library and I told myself I'm just gonna look through what's available and scroll until I find a book that I own on audio, because I just needed an audiobook, because I was already starting When Women Were Dragons, and what came up was Vengeful, which is on this TBR. And I said, okay, that was the deal I made with myself, that I could get a library book if it was, you know, the first one I found. So I started this and I thought, at least I'm getting it off my TBR, and I DNF'd it at 25%. This is the sequel to Vicious, and the longer I read this book, the more I was like, Vicious doesn't need a sequel. And I was interested in like one of the characters' point of view, and all of the other ones I was just like, these characters are even worse than in the last book. Worse as in like terrible people, not worse as in worse character writing. But I just don't get along with Victoria Schwab's writing. The way she builds her stories drives me crazy because it's so long setup and we like don't get into any plot. Like I was at the 25% mark and like nothing had happened so far. It was just all set up, and I just need things to be happening. So this is DNF for me, which I'm a little sad about, but you know, I kind of figured that going in. So my new rule for Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab, sorry, they go by V.E. now, will be that I read their books before they come out, or before I buy them. If I want to try them, I will try them some other way, either through the library or Scribd or something, and then go from there, because I just it's either like a hit or total miss for me. So that's my update there. Then hopefully I will read more of When Women Were Dragons soon. I've been reading it very slowly, but work has been very overwhelming these first few days back from holiday break, so I am just trying to give myself grace and say, you don't have to read, you can do other things. You can play video games and just watch Twitch and stuff like that, because my brain is like bandwidth low. So yeah, that's my update for now. Hello, it is January 26th and I have not read When Women Were Dragons. It's right here. I have not read it, and I'm hoping to read 2 of these a month. So what I did was subscribed to Libro FM. It's a little bit similar to Audible, but it supports small businesses and it's not an Amazon affiliate. So I decided to subscribe to them for a bit and use this for my first credit. I'm hoping to change the format of this book and understand it and follow it a bit better. I am also going to roll the die because we're going into the beginning of February and I want to be reading 2 of these a month. So what I'm hoping to do is roll this and either get another audiobook to start alongside this, or a physical book that I'll want to read. So we'll see which one it is. We're just a few clips into this vlog and the yawns have started. So let's see. I have a book that I'm hoping that it'll be. And it is not the book I wanted. It is number 2. Sorry I didn't show you the roll this time, but it is 2, which is Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. I was hoping that it was going to be Strange the Dreamer because that is available for me to borrow from the library right now, but I will cancel that hold and hope that I can get it back when I need it. So we're gonna go for Call Down the Hawk. I realize that I am super nervous to read this series because I don't want to be disappointed by it. So I'm actually, even though I rolled Call Down the Hawk, I'm thinking I might start with the Raven Boys and actually reread the series and stick to it because I haven't read the Raven Cycle in a couple of years, and you know, one of my goals this year is to reread things. So I think we're going to change the rules just a little bit because I really want to reread that lately, and I also want to refresh my memory on the 4th book because I've only read that twice since it came out, and I would like to enjoy that again. So we have to get through Blue Lily Lily Blue, which is always hard for me on audio because of a character's specific voice in there, but we're gonna try. So that's my update for right now. I will need to form more complete thoughts, of course, but this book is probably gonna be 5 stars. I wanted to like talk to you as soon as I finished it, but man, it made me cry at the end. This was really beautiful. This was really hard for me to get into. It was a writing style that did not naturally lend me to reading it and to continuing on with it, but it really, really got me. I think if you love these are reflections like immediately after finishing the book, but I think if you love Iron Widow for its rage and its anger and its frustration with patriarchy, I think there is an audience that will also love this book. I mean, I loved both. This is softer in its rage, and it's not as tear down the world. It's more of a practical application of how to use that rage, and rather than a fantastical one in a fantasy world, it's more of a practical everyday application. And I think if you blend McCarthyism with the reproductive rights movement with racism in America and just sexism, if you blend all of that and add dragons, I think you get this book. And it was, like I said, it was really hard at the beginning. It's slow and it's a weird writing style, but I got so attached to Alex. Alex is a wonderful main character, and she was so relatable to me. I mean, I am the oldest sibling. I am the oldest daughter. I have a younger sister, and some of the stuff that she talked about as far as being an older sibling and how she approached things were so good. I'm gonna go cry about this a little more. I will try to form more coherent thoughts for the wrap-up portion of this project, but yeah, this is probably gonna be like a 5 stars. I'm trying to be a little more critical and put things through call pile at this point, but if I had to go on like feelings alone, this would be high up there. So I will try to be a little more analytical at some point, but damn, I loved this book. Hello. Alright, so I don't remember what's happening with these rolls, to be honest. Where's my die? Oh, right there. So I finished When Women Were Dragons today. You saw me cry about it. The next thing I have picked is I think is Raven Cycle. I had Called on the Hawk was what was on the list, but I decided I was going to reread the Raven Cycle, which is good, I think, but I also want to have something else to read like that. Okay, so what happened was I decided that I'm going to annotate my copies of the Raven Cycle as I read them now. But what I'm going to do is I was waiting on sticky notes that I could write on that were transparent, so I could make notes in the books without writing in my books, and also not having a ton of sticky, like yellow sticky notes in my books. So we are just starting on the Raven Cycle now, and we're at the end of month 2, and we're 2 books into this 12-book project. So we rolled the die, and that, you can't, I could be lying, but it was a 4. So what was that? Oh, good. I should have definitely had this over here when I rolled. Number 4 was Vengeful, which is already done. So we're gonna try again. Let's see. It was 4 again. Oh no. We can't do Vengeful. 5. Hounded by Kevin Hearn? Yeah, Kevin Hearn. It's over there. So that's my next one. So that's probably good because that's an urban fantasy, and those have been working well for me this year. So we're done with When Women Were Dragons. We're done with Vengeful. We changed Call Down the Hawk to Raven Boys so that I can reread that series before I jump into Call Down the Hawk. And yeah, so I will check in with you again soon. Hopefully things continue to go a little bit better now. Even though I liked When Women Were Dragons, it was a really tough start to this project because it was a tough book for me to get into. So now we are, I'm sure, very far into this vlog at this point because I've had so many clips talking about everything. Good evening. Good evening. So I am about 2 chapters into this, and I'm going to DNF it. I'm just not interested. I don't read a lot of books by men, and this is by Kevin Hearn, and it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. The main character is infuriating in chapters 1 and 2. He's very arrogant. We've already had a naked woman, and it's just not, like, it's not the urban fantasy that's going to work for me. I wish I liked it because it sounds really interesting as far as the Irish mythology, the Norse mythology, the kind of Iron Druid idea, but I just don't like the way the main character is. I don't like him. He's very arrogant. So it's going to be a DNF for me. Now if I was smart, I would have had this ready for you here. But now let's see what comes next. That landed that landed catty corner, so let's try again. There's too many things on my desk, so it just like didn't land on a number. 10, which is Gideon the Ninth, which works out perfectly because I would like to read Gideon this month. It's on my March TBR. I made a TBR for March. I didn't tell anyone about it because I probably won't stick to it, but yeah. So this is 10 right here. Can you see? Probably not. Can you see? Is it even on the one that I want it to be on? There's 10. So Gideon's up. Hopefully I have a little more luck with Gideon than I have with Vengeful or Hounded. So that's my update for now. It is that same night. I have no one to talk to about this, so I'm going to tell you. And you're going to see this in like 6 months when it doesn't matter anymore. So I've been down a severe fan fiction rabbit hole for the past 5-6 months with a very specific fanfic type. And then I was just innocently sitting here filming the clip that we just saw, and I saw a Tumblr notification come up. An author that I read an unfinished fic from 18 months ago was following so closely and disappeared for like 18 months. Just posted that they're gonna finish their fic and when it's gonna go up, and I like am screaming. I'm like screaming. I don't know what to do with myself. It's coming. It's gonna destroy me. I've been waiting for this for so long. I need to go back and reread the whole thing, but it's very, very long and very involved. And I have books to read. Good morning, everyone. So it is the end of March, and it's March 19th. It's not quite the end of March. Currently working on the Raven Boys. I hope I can get further in this series in the next few months than I have in this month, so that I can get to Call Down the Hawk. But I am loving this reread. I'm only a couple chapters in, and I'm both not prioritizing this like in a way that's like speeding me through it, and I'm also trying to take my time with it, so I am reading it very slowly. But part of the reason I'm trying to take it slow is that I'm trying to listen and kind of gather all the clues and all the moments, and there are still things that Maggie wrote into this book that after so many rereads I am still picking up on as hints and clues about what is coming, and just things that I'm like realizing are there as kind of, you know, leading us in the right direction, kind of just saying things about what's coming, and even just how this is all starting at the same time that I haven't caught before, and I love it. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm listening on audiobook, and I'm trying to annotate my paperback copy. I'm thinking about taking all my original tabs out of my hardcover copy and re-tabbing, because I did that like the first couple of times I read this book, and the tabs, I don't even remember what the tabs are for. So maybe we'll do that too. We'll see. It's just taking me a long time, and it's going to be like a project. So we'll see if that like gets included in this project over the long term, or if it's going to take me longer because I'm doing all that. I might sub in something into the 12 books and re-roll and get a different book. But so I'm working on that. I shouldn't be doing this and Gideon. Gideon is probably going to get pushed into April. I'm going to try to fit it into my magical TBR or something, because I really want that to be the book. So it's the 19th today. The Trans Rights Readathon starts tomorrow. So I had almost my whole TBR finished for March this weekend. Like I have a couple books left, and I was thinking, oh, I'll just like concentrate on my last couple of books, but I want to add in the Trans Rights Readathon books. So it won't be like I'm going to be reading more at one time than I was planning on. So I'm going to push Gideon too. So everything just keeps getting pushed back. So we'll see if this project ever ends, but hopefully at some point. Hello, we are back again. So I have finished The Raven Boys and finished that reread. I have created like a reading diary for that. So now we're gonna roll again. Even though I haven't read Gideon the Ninth, I like to have 2 of these on the go. I'm hoping to start Gideon the Ninth soon. I have 3 books I need to finish this week for different book clubs and read-alongs and stuff like that. And then I'm hoping that Gideon is going to be my next pick. But we'll see. This might end up being like a year-long project that I tell you about in July rather than all being done in July, because I only have like 5 books done for this out of 12, and it's already the end of April. Like it's currently April 24th. So let's find out what we're gonna roll. 4 is Vengeful, so we're gonna roll again because we already did that one. 8 is Master of Jinn by Peeta Jolly Clark. So that's the next one. That's another one that I want to read on audiobook. Gideon is going to be the hang up for me because I want to read that on, like, read it both physically and on audio, so I'll have to do, like, take the time to do that. But Master of Jinn is one I'm really, really excited for, so I'm gonna start that soon. Hi everyone, so I'm gonna cut this vlog off here because we have hit the point where I've rolled for 6 of these books. I haven't completed 6 in this vlog, but I've rolled for 6, and it's the end of April, so I don't think I want this all to be one vlog, especially if I'm going to try to fit a bunch of books in before the end of June, so we're going to stop it here. This project is not going exactly how I wanted it to go. It's been a bit chaotic and a bit of a side project more than I wanted it to be, but I am enjoying it and I'm having fun, and it's been interesting. So what I'm hoping is that by the end of this project I will have a bunch of videos specifically about these books to put up in July. July is one of my busier months as far as vacation and like personal life stuff, and August is also busy like that I am thinking what I'll probably end up doing is, like, I have a video diary for the Raven Boys. I'll put that up right after I put up like this vlog, and the vlogs I'll have the like TBR video that goes up, then I'll have these vlogs that go up, and then I'll have videos about the books more specifically. So I'm not sure what all kind of content we're gonna have, but there's gonna be a bunch of it, and I'm having fun with this project, and that's the main goal. So anyway, I don't know when I'm gonna read Gideon. Gideon is one of those books that just keeps getting pushed aside. I've already downloaded the audiobook of Master of Jinn, so we're gonna keep going. But yeah, this vlog is gonna end here, and there might be more.